Official test results show Luke Littler achieved exactly 43 out of 50 on the multiple choice questions, the minimum passing score for UK theory tests, while scoring 63 out of 75 on hazard perception. The 18-year-old world darts champion had publicly shared his previous failed attempts on social media, making this victory particularly significant for his fans and critics alike. I want to make something absolutely crystal clear to all my viewers. Everything you're about to see and hear in this comprehensive analysis consists of real tournament results, actual test scores and official statements, verified social media posts, and confirmed information about Luke Littler's driving journey. No exaggeration, no speculation, just the unvarnished truth about how darts' youngest world champion conquered another challenge. According to Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency data, the UK theory test pass rate stands at 45.2%. In the last complete financial year, more than 2.5 million tests yielded fewer than 1.2 million passes. Littler's final scores revealed just how close this victory was. 43 out of 50 represents exactly 86% accuracy on multiple choice questions, while his hazard perception score of 63 out of 75 equals 84%. The contrast between these sections tells an interesting story about different types of learning and assessment. The multiple choice component tests knowledge of the highway code, road signs, and traffic regulations, areas that require memorization and study. His narrow margin here suggests the theoretical aspects of driving presented more difficulty than the practical hazard recognition skills. But what his hazard perception score reveals about elite athlete brain function will fundamentally change how you think about pressure performance. However, his hazard perception performance was significantly stronger, scoring 63 out of 75 compared to just scraping through the minimum threshold on multiple choice. This section measures reaction time and situational awareness, skills that professional darts players develop extensively through tournament play and pressure situations. The hazard perception test requires candidates to identify developing dangers while watching video clips from a driver's perspective. For someone who regularly performs under intense scrutiny at major tournaments, these visual processing and quick decision-making requirements likely felt more familiar territory. But here's what makes this story even more compelling. The same 18-year-old who can hit a double 20 under world championship pressure with millions watching couldn't memorize basic road signs for months. Yet his hazard perception score of 63 out of 75 was actually stronger than his multiple choice performance, revealing how tournament-level reaction skills transferred perfectly to identifying road dangers. This wasn't just about getting a license, it exposed something fascinating about how elite sports minds process different types of challenges. Littler celebrated his success on social media using the viral quote, "We will have a look, of course we will have a look," referencing Steve McManaman's commentary that became a popular TikTok sound. This choice demonstrates his understanding of internet culture and how to engage his young fan base effectively. The decision to share both failures and success publicly represents a calculated approach to personal branding. Rather than hiding his struggles, Littler transformed them into content that resonated with followers who face their own everyday challenges. Social media commentary about his previous attempts had become a running joke among darts fans and content creators. Streamer Angry Ginge famously joked during a collaboration, "You can do all this, but you can't pass your driving theory," highlighting the irony of someone who can perform under world championship pressure struggling with a standard civilian test. But this public mockery was about to become a masterclass in turning criticism into career advantage. This public documentation of his driving journey created additional pressure beyond the normal test anxiety most candidates experience. Every failure became public knowledge, discussed across darts forums and social media platforms. The psychological impact of performing with thousands of people aware of your previous attempts adds layers of complexity that typical test takers never face. The 18-year-old already has a car ready to use as soon as he passes his practical examination, indicating this wasn't just about personal achievement, but practical necessity for his professional schedule. Tournament travel and sponsorship obligations require reliable transportation, especially for someone of his earning potential. Professional darts players maintain grueling schedules with tournaments across multiple countries and continents. Littler's World Championship victory and subsequent tournament performances have generated substantial prize money and appearance fees, making efficient travel arrangements increasingly important for his career management. But the real reason he needed that license goes far beyond tournament logistics, and it reveals the shocking reality of what fame at 18 actually costs. The timing of finally passing his theory test coincides with his continued dominance in professional darts. His tournament averages and consistent high-level performances demonstrate the same focus and preparation that ultimately led to driving test success. Independence in transportation also affects training schedules and practice routines. Many professional players prefer controlling their own travel timing rather than relying on family members or transportation services. Particularly when practice sessions and tournament putting test victory, the deeper story emerged about how this milestone connects to something much larger: the unprecedented rise of teenage excellence in professional darts and what it means for the sport's future. The same determination that eventually conquered the highway code has already rewritten record books at Alexandra Palace. At 18 years old, Littler continues balancing the normal challenges of young adulthood with extraordinary professional